Mr. Steve Ray, good morning from Marriott staff.
Good morning, sir.
Everyone is happy.
Where are we
Beautiful
headed to?
weather, and we are headed to Mount Nebo this morning.
And then
a
where?
great day, and then to Petra.
After your restaurant.
But midway, we're gonna refill, huh?
Yeah, refill.
Tommy, with makluba, a beautiful dish of Jordan. Yes.
In English, we can call it upside down.
Upside down.
down.
Can't wait. It's cold?
No.
It's cold.
In the 4th century AD, we belonged to a tribe called Bani Ghassan, and the tribe of Bani Ghassan lived in southern Jordan, lived in Petra for a while, lived in a city called Kara, and then in the 4th, 5th, 6th century AD, they helped in creating the network of churches, the network of mosaics and Christian faith all over the area.
Everyone to know who's been behind organizing our masses for us. So thank you.
We can already see the church on Mount Nebo in the distance, and the mountains beyond are in Israel. So a lot of restoration. These are the original mosaic floors from the 6th century that they have now put up on the walls, but they were part of this baptismal font. And there are some of the mosaics, very nicely restored here, so that people today can see them. The Franciscans did a very nice job. So we're having Mass here at Mount Nebo. Everybody's getting settled in. And this is a beautiful new Franciscan church built over the old ancient church where Moses looked out over the land and was buried. And Mass begins on Mount Nebo. Just as Moses lifted up the serpent in the desert, the Son of Man must be lifted up so that everyone who believes in him may have eternal life. That's John 3:14 and 15, and in John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world." This is an image of Jesus on the cross, the serpent that Moses put up. Here we are looking out over the promised land at the very place where Moses looked out from Mount Nebo. There's the Dead Sea over there. Bethlehem is just over the mountains there. Jerusalem is just in the mountains there. We're looking down at the city of Jericho, right down in that area. And then there's mountains of Jerusalem. It goes all the way up on the other side there to the mountains of Samaria and Galilee. This is the Jordan Valley down here. The Jordan River runs right through there into the Dead Sea, and this is looking across into the Promised Land. This is also where Moses died and was buried. Moses right away prayed, and God says, make a bronze serpent out of bronze and put it on a pole. Now, first of all, that's a big problem. Why? Well, what about making images? Didn't God just say in Exodus chapter 20, don't make any images of anything under the earth, on the earth, or above the earth? 5 chapters later, he forgets his command already. God forgets and tells him to make a bronze serpent out of bronze. And then he tells them to, on the Ark of the Covenant, what were they supposed to put over the Ark? The cherubim. Those are angels in heaven. You're not supposed to make images. God forgets his commands already and gets them all confused. But the whole problem I'm saying that is that God doesn't get confused. The images are not the problem. It's the bowing down and worshiping of the images that's the problem. We stop at a mosaic shop, which is one of the great arts of this area, and let people come in and see how the mosaics are made, and then they have an opportunity to buy some if they want.
It's getting really cold, really cold. Even us, we are not used to this kind of weather. Like today, we have like minus.
So we're at the mosaic shop, and we're going to teach people how the mosaics are made, and then they'll have a chance to look and buy.
So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about mosaic. At least you guys will have
We're walking through the streets of Maraba on our way to the mosaic map in the Greek Orthodox Church, and then to lunch.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Steve right here, fearless leader of this group through Maraba, Jordan today. Here they all come. There's our guide Elias. And here's all the good folks parting the Red Sea here. Here they all come through the streets of Maraba. You won't believe it when you get back home.
Of mosaics that is done, something like 545, 550.
We're describing the Maraba map of the Holy Land before we see the actual one on the floor of the church.
They rebuilt the church in 1890, which is outside the old structure, built on top of the ruins of the ancient church, and when they were doing the construction, they found the mosaics. Now, all the churches which were built.
Now we're actually walking into the Church of St. George, where they have the Maraba map. And this is it right here on the floor. And there's the Jordan River. There's the Dead Sea. There is Jerusalem. And over on that side is Egypt and the Nile River. So there you're seeing. I wish that the whole thing was still here. It's been damaged over the centuries. This is all that's left. When we left the Maraba map, we went to the Bread Basket, which is Elias, our guide's restaurant. Very nice.
Good to see you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
You're from Iraq. You're from Iraq.
From Iraq, yes.
Yeah, we're
From
glad
Mosul.
to have you here.
Yeah,
thank
thank you.
Well, we're all here. This is Elias, obviously, and this is his restaurant. He owns this restaurant, and he's invited us all here to have lunch. So we're all going to have upside down today. Look at all the spread already on the tables, all the good stuff to eat.
So now you see just the rice, right? Yeah. But when I flip it, you will see the vegetables and the chicken. That's why we call it the upside down. Okay. So are you ready? I'm ready. So 1, 2, 3.
Fariel's her name, Fariel.
So we went out with our friends, and a friend of our friend came to the party, okay? And she was saying, who was that man sitting with his daughter? And she meant, I was really tired sitting like this, huh?
Wake up.
And you know,
That's a
she's
wake up
full of makeup and ready for the party.
Yeah.
And I was tired. So she was saying, who's that man with his daughter?
Yeah.
So
It was his wife.
Yeah, yeah.
It
We are
was his
talking
wife.
about my wife and daughter and sister, Ferial.
In a minute, it's made.
Not in a minute, of
No,
course
no,
not.
it's
No. It has to be mixed together. Now we boil chicken pieces first, and then we fry vegetables like eggplant, okay, and cauliflower and potatoes and boiled carrots if you like, and then put them aside. Now when we want to cook the whole thing together, so we arrange the chicken first at the bottom of the pan, and then we put some of the vegetables on top of that, and then we add the rice, okay, and the water and spices. So everything is available in the United States. The prices,
As we're driving along to Macaris, there is the Dead Sea. A lot of beautiful views as we wind our way through the mountains towards the place of John the Baptist's martyrdom. Here you can see the Dead Sea on our right as we go through the mountains. This says Macawer, which is Arabic for Macaris, which is the place where John the Baptist was imprisoned and killed. As it looks now, and as Fortress of Macaris may have looked at the time of Jesus. There you can see the Bedouins with their sheep right there. There's the shepherds there, and look at the sheep going up. At Macaris, right here now, this is the place it says at a strategic day. It doesn't say where. We learned that from Josephus, who was a first century writer. Josephus was a Jewish historian writing for the Romans, and he wrote a magnificent history of the time of Christ. It's fantastic. It fills in a lot of the gaps and connects a lot of the dots. He said, the Bible doesn't tell us where John the Baptist was beheaded. Josephus does. So I'm including that in here. At Macaris, on a strategic day when Herod, on his birthday, gave a banquet to his lords and military commanders and leading men of Galilee, and when Salome, now the Bible doesn't say the name Salome, we also learn her name from Josephus. The daughter of Herodias herself came in and danced. She pleased Herod and all of his dinner guests, and Herod swore to her, "Whatever you ask me, I'll give to you, up to half my kingdom." Beware, guys, never drink too much. That guy had too much to drink that night. After 2 hours, it's time for a rest, and we stop here at our nice rest area. It's always nice to have a little stop at a rest area, stretch legs, use the bathroom. You can get tea here with either fresh mint or sage to put in it. Lots of sugar. And there's Ollie, our driver. He's getting a coffee. And people can get some snacks. Well, we caught a little snow on the way here to Petra. We about maybe 30 minutes left before we get to our Marriott hotel in Petra. But this makes the trip a little more interesting. People don't think it's going to snow in the desert, but it does. We arrived at the Marriott Hotel in good order. Everybody got checked in, had a nice dinner, and got to bed. Tomorrow we go to Petra.